Hi guys, hi, how's it going? How y'all doing today? Hopefully today finds you well. Today I am doing another video in my mini series, my top 3 mini series, and today we're going to go over top 3 in every eye category in my collection. Now this isn't palettes. Palettes is coming very, very soon, I promise you. But this is top 3 in every eye category. So eyeliners, glitters, I have liquid and cream eyeshadows, those kind of things. So I hope that you're here for it. And if you are, please keep on watching. For those of you new here, hi, my name is Donna. I'm a lover of all things high and colorful beauty and self-care. Ultimately, what we're doing here, this channel, this is my self-care. I come out to you, love to talk to you guys about the good, the bad, the ugly, all things coming into my collection, leaving my collection in terms of beauty in my life. And I really just would love to have you along for this ride of mine. Maybe my midlife crisis, who knows, but it's fun, and I'm kind of a kick in the pants to hang out with, so I hope that you'll want to stick around. If you do, please subscribe before you go, hit the notification bell so that you're notified every time I upload, do all the YouTube-y things, but for sure, hit me up down in the comment section because I love to talk to y'all down there. So with that said, if you want to venture through the top 3 products that I have in every eye category that I have in my collection, not palettes, please keep on watching. Ain't nothing better than a brand new hairdo. Love the cut, always. Love the color, of course. I think we did something very similar to this the last time. I don't know. I'll stick a picture up here of me when we first got it done last time, and I think it was very similar, but I'm really digging this dark and sultry and kind of mysterious like color in my hair against my skin. I think it looks really good, but correct me if I'm wrong, you know, I could be wrong. I also think that pink and purple are like my sweet spot for hair color, so if I'm not careful I can get kind of sucked into that, but I really like that this has some blues and even some teals mixed in here. Yeah, it's just super fun. It's super fun. So nothing like a new hairdo to inspire you to put some makeup on your face and get on film and do some filming. So that said, this is the first of a couple of videos that I'll be filming today for sure. Just get myself, you know, caught up. You know, I get ahead, and then for whatever reason, I'm in this place where, holy crap, if I don't film something today, I won't have anything going up tomorrow. And that makes me feel like I'm not ahead anymore, because I'm not. I mean, newsflash, you're not. But tangent aside, let's jump into this. So again, this is another video in my top 3 mini-series that I do pretty much every year on my channel. And we started with base, which I will have all of them linked up in the cards for you. And we will finish with palettes coming next week, which are a little bit different than this because we do by like adjective category versus kind category, because you know I am not drilling down my 200 plus palette collection down into 3. That's just not happening. So we do like neutrals, giant, colorful, those kind of things. But this is rounded out through the subcategories that I have in each one of my categories in my inventory spreadsheet. So this is all things eyes. This is what is landing in the eyes category in my collection. And we have 7 subcategories. So we have liquid liner, pencil liner, potted liner, primer, shadow stick, liquid and cream shadow, and then glitter pigment. I don't know why I didn't put like single shadows in here, but I do think that for single shadows, like the plethora of my single shadow collection is Sydney Grace. I have a few ColourPop. I just recently got some Divina and Friend Mail, which I'm so excited about. One of them is tapped onto my lid today. Yeah, I just don't really have a lot of variety in my single shadow collection. So I don't have single shadows in any of these buckets, but I think that some of this might surprise you and some of it won't. This was one of the only videos in the mini-series collection that I had a really hard time picking different products than what I have picked in previous years, and or picking products that were not discontinued. There's a couple of things in here that are discontinued now. I think I can think of 2 specifically, but for the most part, the rest of this stuff exists out there in the makeup space. As always, well, as of lately, trying to be a better YouTuber, everything I'm wearing on my face today, as well as everything that I'm discussing today, will be linked down in the description box or something similar. So with that said, the first subcategory that I have is liquid liner, and I have the Benefit roller liner. Now I do have this one, which is in black, and this one, which is in brown, and these are not open. There are multiple in here that are not open because I try not to open and use just willy-nilly my liquid liners. We all know that these aren't a product in your makeup category where you could have multiple hundreds of them open at a time because then they're just all going to go bad all at the same time. So these ones aren't open. However, I will pop up a picture here of what it looks like, what the tip looks like. This is a felt tip liner. The black one is really ultra black, and the brown one, you can definitely tell the difference between the black and the brown. It's definitely not like a black brown, you know, where it's a really, really dark brown that might as well be black. I think that they are really, really good. I love that the tip is super, super pointy. It gets a really nice flick to it, but it's also, I think because it is a felt tip, it's also kind of easier to use than a brush tip, although I do like a brush tip better, if that makes any sense. It doesn't really make any sense, but I learned how to do a winged eyeliner with a felt tip. So why I don't love felt tips more than brush tips, I will never know. This isn't the one that I learned on, but this would be my favorite liner in terms of like any felt tip liner that I would purchase. I do feel like these are pretty waterproof. They don't like smear or go away with my super watery eyes. I also feel like they don't sink into fine lines, which is something that I have as a person with like aging skin, aging eyes. It's also a problem that I think that we see a lot more with a felt tip liner than we do with like a brush tip liner. And I don't feel like these do that. So really, really happy to have these in my collection. Anytime I can get them, I will get them, like if they're on sale or whatnot. These 2 I did get in gratis, I think back in January, so I just haven't opened them yet, but they are really good liners. I don't 100% think that any of these has a different like feel in the hand as far as like dexterity goes or like how you hold a pencil. They all are pretty much the same, but that one has a really like grippy cap, which I kind of love about it. I don't know. It's just one of those weird things. The next one I have is the Lancome Idole liner, and this one is an ultra precise waterproof liner that I believe is a brush tip. It doesn't say whether it's brush or felt on the box, but I could be 100% wrong. I do think that these are pretty waterproof, as they state. They definitely don't go anywhere with my watery eyes. I've worn it when I was like at a graduation or a wedding or whatever crying, and they worked out really well. I really like these ones too. I do think that this only comes in black though, but these are really nice, really ultra black. I think these ones are a tad bit shiny, whereas the other ones I would say are not necessarily shiny. So this isn't 100% a matte finish. I do like a matte finish for my liquid liner because my liquid liner just goes onto the top lid as my, you know, wing out here on the corner, but I really do like these. The precise tip makes it's a really long precise tip, and it makes it really easy to like almost just stamp the wing on and then bring it back in instead of like going out and flicking. It's a really nice liquid eyeliner pen. So, and I have noticed that this one too has a really great 24-hour wear. I would say it comes in next best to my number one, and my number one is the KVD tattoo liner. Listen, I don't know, this one is the one that I have in use right now. I don't know who doesn't love this liner. This one is, you know, feels like it's probably on its last leg. I did use it today. It is on my eyes today. This is in Trooper Black. I will have it linked down there and you will be able to see how many other colors it comes in. I always have 2 of each of these in my collection so that I have one that I'm working with and one on backup just in case. something else fails in my life. But all three of these liquid eyeliners are pens that, number one, I supply a lot of mascara, liquid eyeliners, serums, skincares to my family members. Those three I won't give to my family members. I always know that those are for me, for my collection. They are the ones that I know that I can count on. They are the ones that I know that I do not struggle to use. They are ones that go over glitters. They are ones that go over like really chunky eyeshadows even, that I never have a problem with. And they never like sink into your fine lines and wrinkles and then just feather out. They never do any of that. And for that reason alone, these are the only three that I use. In addition to that, like I have really watery eyes, I have allergies, and these never go anywhere. I can always count on them to do exactly what I need them to do. The next section of my eyes category is pencil liners. And this, I am telling you, I had a really hard time picking things that I hadn't picked before in the eyes category because I don't really sway too far left or right outside of the ones that I know are tried and true and I can work with and won't give me any problems. So the first ones I'm going to mention are these, and these are the LA Girl Shockwave liners, and I think that these are the only ones by LA Girl that I really, really like. They're really creamy, nice gel liners. There is a ton of different colors of them. I just have these 5 right now to display for you, but I also have red, I have orange, I have all different colors of them. I even have some lip liners that I use as eyeliners because I've never had a problem using those lip liners, but all of these are eyeliners, I promise you. The colors are not like super desaturated. They're really very vivid in their coloring. I feel like they last for a very, very long time. I mean, look at that yellow. Like that is a gorgeous yellow. I feel like they last a really, really long time, and they're really easy to put onto your, like I only use pencil liner on my under eye area and then of course in my tight line, but I only use black in my tight line. So these would be like lower lash line colors. I love how they operate because they're so gel-like. They go on, they're really, really nice, really, really silky to like just glide across where you need them to glide across on that really, really sensitive skin underneath your eyes, right? And kind of thin skin underneath your eyes. You're not pulling and tugging at all. And then you can just take a buffer brush and buff it out underneath your eye, and it's just perfection, truly. I didn't really love LA Girl, or hadn't even really looked twice at LA Girl as a brand until I got one of their eyeliners from my friend JC when she bought, you know, I did like I gave her $100 and she bought all my makeup and we put it on in a video together. And it was $100 worth of drugstore makeup, and she did buy me one of these eyeliners, and they are amazing. Like I am always looking for new colors every single time I'm in a store. Really beautiful eyeliners. And they also have these ones, which are the Pastel Dream ones, which are really, really nice as well. But I really like these ones. These work well for like, I'm just not a pastel person, let's be honest, but I like these ones for like my inner corner or the inner rim of my lower lash line, not like maybe as a buff out, but to make my eyes look just a little bit more poppy or brighten them up just a little bit more. So I really like them. But they also have really long ones and like looks more like a pencil like this one by Clinique, I would guess. They're retractable, not sharpenable. I do not love those ones. Those ones are really waxy, and I had a lot of problems with the pull and tug on my eyes. So the LA Girl Shockwave, hands down, some of the best, and certainly the best on the drugstore side of the store. Next I have Natasha Denona liners. Now, I really, really like these liners. This one is my favorite, if you cannot tell. This one does bother my eyes quite a bit, though. The other ones don't, which I don't quite 100% understand, but I only have like 4 different shades here. And I don't think that she has them in all different kinds of shades, except for limited edition type. I think these 3 here are limited edition. This one I think is a regular color. She doesn't really have a wide variety of shades of her eyeliners, to be honest, but they are beautiful. They go on really nicely. I don't find that I'm tugging at them. I don't find that they are skippy. I find that they blend out easily. I would say that these are maybe a little less easy to blend out than like the LA Girl ones, but they are so long lasting. They last for such a long time. Like if I'm not taking these off of my eye at the end of the day, they will still be on my eye the next day, even in the inner corner. So I don't feel like they go anywhere with my watery eyes, my itchy eyes. If I'm itching at them, of course they're going to go somewhere, but I also feel like they are really, really impactful, really, really vivid in their coloring. So, I mean, that is the Camus shade, which is kind of this vivid, you know, chartreusey green. They're really pretty. Easy to apply, easy to buff out, and just truly go nowhere. And then last but not least, but probably my favorite for multiple reasons, ease of use, number one, shade range number two. I mean, truly just, I feel like the best eyeliner out there and would spend the money over and over and over again to get them. It's the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Liners. Like these really do glide nicely. They are really super creamy. I feel like maybe almost sometimes too creamy, like just this one, for instance. This is the Tiger's Eye one, and it just kind of, after putting on the other two, just went in ham to put this one on as well, and just kind of got way too much because it just melted onto my skin. You really don't have to try hard with these. They are beautiful. There's the metallic version, there's the matte version. I feel like they are so nice to use on your under eyes because they don't grip, they don't tug, really easy to blend out. Waterproof, absolutely go nowhere. They're always on my eyes the next day. I struggle to get them off of my under eye. These are the ones that I am always using or want to always be using in my tight line. Right now I'm using a different one, which I think is awful. It transfers. These ones never transfer. None of the ones that I've talked about transfer. These ones are the ones that I want to wear on my tight line because they literally are the longest lasting, go nowhere, doesn't transfer eyeliner that I have, the best one that I have in my collection. So this would be my number one. And I mean, just truly the sheer magnitude of shades that they have in these, they're well worth the price point in my humble opinion, and far outlast and outplay any dupe that you can get in the drugstore or high end for that matter. The next category that I have is potted liners, and honestly I only have two different brands of potted liner that I buy, Melt and the KVD. Now when I bought my KVD, they were called Super Brow products, so these used to live in my brow category as a brow pomade, but I started using them as eyeliner years ago and have never used them as anything else really since, except for maybe like face paint or something like that, because these literally go absolutely nowhere. And the fact that you can get just so many different shades of these like gel eyeliners. I've got 6 different shades of those because I have white and then all the other different colors that I want so that I can mix white with any of those colors and get the appropriate color that I want. I wear them all the time as my upper lid liquid eyeliner, right? When I'm not using black or brown, these are typically the ones that I'm using. And those I would say are probably my number one. And a very close second to those are the Melt ones. I just started trying Melt gel liners within the last probably year and a half or so. So I'm just not as familiar with these ones, which is why they come in as a close second. But they are very good also. I have 4 different shades of the Melt ones. And what I would say about the Melt ones is they also have like a metallic version of this, which I do have a metallic version. I don't 100% love the metallic version of these as much as I like the matte version of these. I also just want to point out that I have noticed in the past, because these are supposed to be waterproof, like goes nowhere waterproof eyeliners, right? And that's why I started using them as eyeliner in the first place. I've also used brow pomade as an eyeliner before. I guess I do have a Bobbi Brown one, but I just don't think of those when I think of my favorite like potted eyeliners, because the ones that truly never fail me are those KVD ones, and the next ones that come in a very close second would be the melt. I have noticed though that the melt ones, if I am like tugging at my eye, just a little bit more, if my eye is bothering me just a little bit more than normal, I have noticed that the smudging does occur on my wing more so than I have ever noticed with the KVD. So that is why KVD is like, would be my number one choice, and melt comes in a very close second. Other than that, like I haven't really tried a whole lot of other potted gel liners except for like Suva Beauties, which are water activated. So I cannot do those because with my watery eyes, like they just don't last. I have used the Benefit Pomade as a liquid or as a gel liner on my lid space, and those work actually really well. Your brow product pomades are really, really nice to use as gel liners because they last forever. The next section I have, the next subcategory in my eyes category, is eye primer. And this might not come as a shock to anybody, but my favorites are these three right here. So I have the NYX Glitter Glue. I don't want to ever be without one of these in my collection, even though the stupid nozzle in almost every single one of these components I've had has broken, and I've had to put the glitter glue into a tub. I still want, and it's a pain in the ass, I still want to have this in my collection. Now, I have heard that there are some really great glitter glues out there that far surpass this. I just haven't tried any of them. My friend Andi tells us all about the Divina one often. I know that there used to be a Too Faced one that was supposedly really, really bomb, but that one doesn't even exist anymore. So try as I might to get a hold of that one, I can't. If you know of any really great glitter glues, I would love to hear it, because if I'm honest with you, the component of this one pisses me off. Almost every single time I buy it, I'm mad at it within a few months, because this lasts forever, because you only use the smallest bit and maybe not even daily, and the component breaks every single time. The Ulta Beauty Matte Veil is what it's called now, eye primer. This is an old packaging one, and the ABH eye primer are probably hand in hand my number one. The reason why I say that is because this one has a little bit more of like a creamy feel to it, and it's also got a cream color to it. So this is what this one looks like. So it's got like this really creamy feel to it, this really creamy color to it. It blanks out the lids, really does do its due diligence to make sure that you have a really clean canvas to work with. Whereas the ABH one, I'll go ahead and open this because I often have more than one in rotation. This is the ABH one. This one is a little bit more, I don't know, I would say liquid and a little bit more white, right? So when I wear these, I wear them for two very different reasons. So the cream colored one underneath the ABH one, the cream colored one is the Ulta Beauty one. And that one I use when my eyelids are feeling dry or for everyday purposes. I am wearing it today. But the ABH one I wear when I'm doing like some of my more vivid eye looks and I want them to really stand out on my skin. So if I'm not using the, NYX shadow stick in milk or the About Face like liquid eyeshadow in white, which you'll see in a second, I am using this ABH eye primer. It is liquid enough that it keeps my eyes maybe not moisturized necessarily, but moisturized, like not like it doesn't suck the moisture out of my eyes using this like it might with the About Face liquid eyeshadow if I'm just using it as a primer, which is why I use this one mostly. It's just kinder, I think, to my eyes than the About Face liquid eyeshadow in white. But those two are definitely hand in hand my favorite eye primers to use for very different reasons, but they both have to live in my collection. I don't ever see me necessarily wanting to have in my collection. Now I have MAC paint pots, which are, I mean, I could take or leave a MAC paint pot. There was a time in my life where I preferred the MAC paint pots over everything else, but I also feel like they're just maybe just a smidge bit too creamy for me. I do like them as a one and done like eyeshadow these days, but I really like this one because it's a cream that I feel like dries down just a little bit more than the MAC paint pot does. This is the Ulta Beauty one. And I also feel like it's got a little bit of a tack to it. So I maybe don't have to use a glitter glue on top of this primer when I'm putting my glitters on top of it. I still do for the most part. This one I would always use a glitter glue with because it is just truly dry. It is a more dry, wet formula than the creamy one from Ulta Beauty. So those would be the three that I have in my collection that I always want to have in my collection that are truly like this one. These two are holy grail. Never want to live without them. If you can find me a better glitter glue, please, by all means, let me know. However, that next one is really nice. The next subcategory in my collection is shadow sticks, and I have 3. Now, I think 2 of these are new this year because I didn't even try them until this year, if I'm honest with you, and one of them fell from grace. The NYX shadow sticks were on my top 3 year after year after year for this, subcategory, but I just found this year that I didn't like them as much as I have liked them in the past. They really don't stay all day. They're a shadow stick that I can easily wipe off once I have it on my lids. So that means they're going to smudge, they're going to crease, they're going to... Yes, I have used them. I used to use the white one all the time as an eye primer, and I just can't bring myself to use it as an eye primer anymore because they legit have fallen from grace. So the 3 that are my favorite now is Bobbi Brown, which has been a favorite for me for a very long time. These shadow sticks literally go nowhere. You can put them on, you have enough time to buff them out. They're a really great one and done eyeshadow stick. I really find that these last all day long. They don't crease, they're not too creamy, they're not too dry. They're really, really great, right? This one is a rollover from years and years past, right? I have multiple different colors in this. Really happy to have it. I also have a shadow stick video that I will go ahead and pop up into the cards for y'all because these shadow sticks are really, really amazing, and you'll see that in that shadow stick video as well. I also really, really love these guys that came to me within the last year. So Laura Mercier shadow sticks are phenomenal. Again, a lot like the Bobbi Brown ones, they really go nowhere. You have time to put them on, time to buff them out, and then they last all day. No creasing, no budging, no nothing. I know that I can put these on and they are going to be there at the end of the day when I am done with my work day. I also love using this one specifically, as a contour on my face. This is the one in the shade Cobblestone. I have it currently as my lip contour. I love this shadow stick. I use it all the time for multiple reasons, but it's really, really good also as a shadow, really, really excellent as a shadow stick. I love the difference in the components for the Laura Mercier ones, the more like matte component is your matte version of the shadow stick, and your shiny component is your shimmer version of the shadow stick. Love these. Same can be said for the cosmetics ones. I mentioned these in my shadow stick video as well. These also have different components for shiny versus matte. This is the matte component. You can tell it's just a very matte shadow stick, and this one is a shimmer shadow stick, and it's got a shiny version of the same packaging. They're just, I mean, truly beautiful, really easy to use. I would say that these are probably the more emollient of the shadow sticks, but they're all really super creamy, really easy to get along with, and these work so well. I am not a huge fan of IT Cosmetics as a brand. Like almost everything that I've had from IT Cosmetics, I don't really truly 100% love, but I really do love these shadow sticks. Again, go nowhere. Really easy to use. They go on those ones, the IT Cosmetics ones, you have a little bit more time to buff out. I would say with Bobbi Brown and with the Laura Mercier, you should work one eye at a time. With IT Cosmetics, I also think that you need to work one eye at a time, but I do think that you have a little bit more leeway to work with the IT Cosmetics sticks than you do with the Bobbi Brown or the Laura Mercier, but all are phenomenal in terms of shadow sticks. No creasing, no movement, no budging. Once they're on, they're on. And like this one is the IT Cosmetics one. And like, even if I rub over the top of it, it literally is going nowhere because it's been on my skin now for the appropriate amount of time to dry down. They just go nowhere. They're the easiest one and done eyeshadows on the planet. The next category is liquid or cream shadows. And for liquid, I only have two. Listen, I really like the Stila glitter and glows and shimmer and glows and whatnot, but I find that they really dry out really, really quickly. And for that reason, I didn't want to put them in here as a favorite because I feel like you should be able to get your money's worth of a product, whether it's a cream product or a liquid product. You should be able to get your dollar's worth, and I don't feel like you're able to get your dollar's worth out of the Stila ones because they just dry out super quickly. I also really kind of like the Natasha Denona ones, but I kind of feel like those are discontinued these days. I haven't seen them talked about hardly at all. And I also have a couple other ones, but they're not ones that I'm wholly sold on. Like not ones that I'm 100% going to stand on this hill and tell you are the best. So these two are ones that I'm confident in and ones that I can tell you are literally the best. First would be the KVD Dazzle Sticks. Like these are a cream. They do come in a stick form and literally nobody talks about these, but they are, I mean, phenomenal and so easy to use. And once you have them on, like these can get like a little thick if you allow them to get thick because they are so emollient. You literally don't want to, you know, push it all the way up and then like swipe it on because you will probably break it. These are super emollient. So they can get really thick if you let them, but they're so impactful, so beautiful, so shiny. And once they are on and dried down, they literally don't go anywhere. They are much like Super Brows, much like her eyeliner, much like a lot of things. So like this one specifically, like I just put this on and it's not like smudging anywhere and it is barely on my finger. It literally goes nowhere. So I have 4 different shades of those. I think they come in, I want to say like 5 or 6 shades. I have most of the shades that they come in. I really wish they were talked about more, and maybe I should do a video and talk about them more. For anybody who is really interested in cream shadow, I wish for you to find one that you really love, and you know, as far as the color goes, and try it, because I don't think that you'd be disappointed, especially if you're into a high impact, really beautiful creamy eyeshadow. You're gonna love those Dazzle Sticks. They're just super easy to use. The other one that I have is the About Face liquid shadows. Now, these aren't all built equally, okay? So I've had the glitter ones and I don't love the glitter ones, but the matte fluid eye paints and the multi-chrome ones, these are holographic eye paints, are really, really good. So I use these ones, the matte ones, for multiple things. I've used these for, like, I have the black and the white for eye primer. The black I use underneath like my multi-chrome powder products, and the white I use as my vivid underneath my eyes if I'm not using my ABH eye primer. For these I use as shadows, I use them as liners, I use them as mascara, because I will pull this doe foot out and I will get my little like lash brush here. I will like do this on the lash brush, and not that this is the right color to be using on my lashes right now, but as soon as it is on my lash brush, I will just take it over the top of my lashes and just a coat. I know that you guys can't maybe see that, but hopefully I'll be able to get close enough so that you guys can see it. But now it's a mascara. Now I don't know, I mean, they're eye products, so they're eye safe, so why not use it as a mascara? I have the matte fluid eye paints. I have these 4 in full size, and then I have 5 of the minis, and all of them are in different colors because they're just so versatile for me. They dry down really matte, so they're not going to go anywhere. They're not going to crease. They're going to be perfection in any avenue that you want them to be. The holographic ones are really pretty. They're very, very beautiful. I find that these ones work better than most of the ones that I have in terms of like, now that one was this color here, which looks kind of purple, kind of green, kind of blue, depending on how you're looking at it. These do a really good job of not creasing, not going anywhere, not really moving on the lid. And once you have it locked in, it's not going to budge. So those would be, I mean, truly the only 2 creamer liquids that I could bring to you as like a recommendation for liquid eye products. But for the glitter and pigment category, I do have 4. And one of them could potentially fit into liquid or cream as well. So maybe I should have moved that into liquid or cream, but it felt really weird because it is glitter, and there are 2 products in my glitter category that you can't get anymore that I know of. I'm gonna put this in here as a liquid cream / glitter pigment product because it is really good. These are the Half Magic glitter pills, and this is the only way I ever want to do glitter ever, because these are just so good. So they are liquid, right? They're a liquid glitter. They come in this little like pill formula, hence the name glitter pill. They have a nice little brush on them, and they are truly just wonderful for glitter purposes. Really easy to use, really easy to use. And once you get them on, that glitter is there to stay. Like, it is not going to go anywhere. It's not going to budge. It's not going to flake off. I have mine in Mercier, which I think is a beautiful color, and I have mine in Puddle. This is such a beautiful, like, blackish gray that has like multi-dimensional, multicolored glitters in it, so it could go with literally any eye look. And then the Mercier one, which is like blues and green eye look, really, really beautiful. It lives in the glitter category in my spreadsheets, but I think that it could be either or. So for glitter and pigment, then I have 2 formulas that I don't know that you can get anymore. One I know that you can't because it's Marc Jacobs, and Marc Jacobs isn't a brand anymore. But this is his See-Quins formula, and I really just, prior to having those glitter pills, this is the only way I wanted to do glitter in the past, because it's a really nice, solid glitter that like isn't gonna go anywhere. It doesn't crease. It's really impactful, really beautiful, and I just feel like easy to use. It's not like just sitting in there on its own. It's not like pressed glitter. It's in some kind of like base that it's all gonna like stick together and be creamy. It doesn't hurt to take off my lid, which is something that I find with a lot of glitters. Hurts to take off my lids. These absolutely don't. When Marc Jacobs comes back, I do hope that he comes back with these See-Quins in his lineup because they're amazing glitters. The next one I have is the MAC SpellBinder glitters, and I do know that I got these as a limited edition product. I do think that they come out with these occasionally as limited edition products, but I do have a red one and a kind of blue-green one. The red is called Stairway to the Stars, and the blue-green is called Swing on a Star. These were part of their holiday collection a few years ago, and obviously they're not falling out of here, so they're not like loose glitter, right? But they kind of are. So like this one here today is actually tapped onto my eyelid, and I just like literally bounced my finger into it, got some out on my finger, and then just tapped it on, and that is it. It doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't like fall out all over my face all throughout the day. It's built like a pressed in some kind of like fluid glitter, but it goes on with the ease of like a loose glitter. It's just, or a pigment. It's just, they're just beautiful. They're truly beautiful. And this one here, I use often to like just vamp up any like blue or green eye look. And this one I use to vamp up any like rosy or burgundy or brown eye look. They're just beautiful. And then lastly, I have something that is still for sale. And I'm sorry, you guys, but I don't really, glitter is the devil as far as I'm concerned. So I don't have a lot in terms of glitter. And what I do have in glitter, I would say are not good compared to these. And while I know I could bring a pigment into this, I just don't really love pigments either. So last but not least in this venture of all things eyes are the Moon Dust eyeshadows. And these are so pretty. I have these two singles, and then I have a whole palette by Urban Decay for their Moon Dust shadows. I think it was their first Moon Dust eyeshadow palette, and they have new ones out that I want to get as well. I do have Solstice and Glitter Rock. So this one is Solstice and this one is Glitter Rock. Glitter Rock is just a really beautiful like purple. Has kind of like this amethyst, like almost holochrome kind of shine to it. And then Solstice is very kind of like duochromatic, like red brown almost. So pretty. These are beautiful, and just tapped on an eye look, also truly beautiful. Those are them right there. They're just sparkly, impactful, beautiful. I love them so much. And again, there's glitters that do not go anywhere, are not going to fall out all over your face. Truly beautiful. And the sheer variety, again, with Urban Decay, much like their shadow or much like their eyeliners, they have a huge variety of the Moon Dust shadows, and they're all beautiful. Urban Decay really does these Moon Dust shadows really well, and if you don't have a Moon Dust shadow, you should absolutely think about getting one. And that said, that is it. That is all the things in the 7 subcategories of my eye category for my makeup inventory, and I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys think of the products that I put into these categories. I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions. I know that some of you are not into shadow sticks. I know that some of you are not into cream and liquid eyeshadows, but I think that there's a little bit here for everyone. I really hope that you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please let me know. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I hope you and yours are well. I hope that you all are all safe and healthy and getting along as best that you can. I hope that you are all loving each other, being kind humans, and living your best life. And until next time. Bye, friends. I just went in and tried to wash my hand, and this is what my hand looks like right now. So this is after washing my hand with soap and water. This is the Marc Jacobs glitter. This is the About Face liquid eye product. This is the Urban Decay, the 2 Natasha Denona, and the 2 LA Girl eyeliners. This one right here is the IT Cosmetics Shadow Stick. And you can see remnants of all the glitter everywhere on my hand from just swatching all those products for you, but specifically for the 2 KVD Dazzle sticks that were here. The glitter is everywhere. Like, I know that you can't see it on camera, but that glitter just went everywhere. Crazy. I just thought I'd share.